good evening, and maybe good morning to Sai in Bay Area. So meeting number 41, October 30th, 2025. So um, I'll be your host along with Rob, doing the screen share. Uh, yeah, let's go to the next slide. So from a regular agenda item, I think we'll follow the same script itself. Welcome new authors with quick introduction from them. A few reminder items from the leadership updates, focus on the sponsorship and promotion. Then again, like as every bi-weekly call, we actually focus on the events that people had presented. So you can have focus on that one. And last but not the least, have like a focus on the work stream, what's happening, the progress that's being made. And last but not the least, any other business, anything that we have not covered, any ideas, any concerns, any blockers that you might have. So looking at all the participants today, I do not see any new person. Let me just make sure I take a look again. If anybody is new to the group, can you just raise your hand and say who you are, where you're coming in from? Okay, I believed we didn't have any new one. I think Mazdak and Tal Shapira are the new ones, so we'll actually make a round of introduction once they join the call so that they can do justice to that introduction. And a couple of reminder items. So I don't think so it's going to be anything new for anybody on the call. So Slack is our communication channel, and if you're unavailable for a period of time, definitely let your working group, the workstream group, know that you're going to be away. And if there are any blockers, any impediments, definitely low Rob, Benaz, or myself. And anytime you're making a post or submitting to a conference, presenting at a conference, definitely help make noise for AI Exchange. And last but not the least, if so, we use Google Doc, and whenever you're making any edits and stuff, definitely use the suggest and review mode. From a leadership update, oh, okay, I didn't know that this was still there. So the voting for OAS Global Board is ending today. So anybody who has voted, thank you. Uh, so Rob, do you want to cover this one for the bottom
Yeah, I
side?
can cover a couple because I added a few. Fingers crossed for you, Aranish. I think you are a great candidate. I think you're the best candidate, but that's me. And you did a wonderful campaign, I think. So you did the best that you could, and now the rest is up for the results. By the way, today is election day well, yesterday was election day in the Netherlands, and we're getting results in right now. And I think you guys can relate to how this can be, but that's not for now. We have a deadline. That's what I wanted to repeat. The new year, this is when multiple training and certification institute will use the exchange. It's best if the exchange is not a super fast moving target, and we're doing a lot of things right now with the harmonization and with the flowback. So it's important to get that done before the end of the year, before January, because that's where at least one organization is going to put together the training material and the exam material. Which brings me to this item right here. There is an organization, and it's TSTC in the Netherlands, the leading training organization that has adopted the AI Exchange for a full day AI security training. And this is what we want, right? We created the material, we provide it for free because we believe that is the way you can create consensus, and it's happening, right? Census embraced it. Now TSTC has embraced it because they see, well, this represents consensus, it's elegant material, it's clear, and we can use it to base our training on. So this was launched actually today. I reposted it from the AI Exchange LinkedIn account. If you want to know more, please have a look there, although it's Dutch, but I think this is a great achievement. And I wanted to demo a trick that I shared on the authors channel, which is this. If you are editing in Google Doc, you have all these markings. And if you have all these suggestion markings a lot bothering you, there's a mode that you can use. You can go to View, no, Tools. Oh my God, I think I forgot how to do this. Oh, such a wonderful interface. Now I need to look at my own instructions to remember how to do this. I'm looking now at the authors channel. Yeah, Google Doc, suggest mode, yes. Tools, review, suggest, edits. Okay, tools. This is why nobody knows where this is. It's hidden. Review suggested edits. Now, don't click accept all, but click not show suggested edits, but preview accept all. If you do that, all the markings will be gone, and it's just like you're editing a normal document, and you won't be bothered by seeing the changes, the track changes by you or anybody else, and it's much easier to edit. And at the same time, we'll keep tracking the changes. So I guess that's a recommended way of working, especially when you're overhauling a specific section in the Exchange in the Google document. That's that. Anything else? You may have seen this. I posted it on LinkedIn. I shared it on the authors channel. Sans has a notebook LLM. If you go follow this link, you can ask any question about AI security and you'll get an answer from the material that they put in, which is the complete AI Exchange, which is the slides from 2 years of SANS AI security summits. So if you ask, what can I do against data poisoning, you get a nice story and it's extracted from the Exchange. And I think this is wonderful, just great. It's something that's on our roadmap. We want to implement this as part of the OpenCRE system, but SANS beat us to it, and that's fine. And it shows the power of a concentrated and elegant body of knowledge and what AI can do with it. Finally, Aider has shared a message that I unfortunately, and I think many others of us overlooked in the authors channel. And it's a great idea to submit in a public inquiry of the Canadian government on behalf of the AI Exchange that we want the Canadian government not to start building their own framework, but base their governance of AI security on existing work. Of course, we would propose to look at the AI Exchange. I think that's an excellent idea. Unfortunately, it didn't get the traction because people overlooked it, and Aider needed to prioritize the work on the harmonization, and rightfully so. So together with Aider, today I'm going to see what we can submit in something that's low-hanging fruit. Basically, one clear suggestion to not build your own framework, dear government, but build on existing consensus, have a look at the Exchange because blah, blah, blah. And that's the idea. Anything to add, Aider, on this?
No, I think you captured it well. Yeah, it's just that was a very tight deadline. They have a strategy already that they published in 2019. I can try to get the link for you as well. It was not somehow linked to the survey itself, but it is a working that they start a little earlier. And now they're seeing this with this whole tariffs and the whole change in geopolitical, how they can start developing in a more secure way the whole AI framework. So yeah, thank you for the support. Really appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, you too. This is an excellent idea. And that wraps up my leadership updates, and going back to Aranish.
Yeah, just one question on the same one. Is the deadline for today?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I'll be very keen on. I had been a little tied up for a very different reason. I'll be happy to actually contribute towards this one also, and maybe we can have a sync right after this call.
Oh, I'm so happy with that, Aranish, because I in the evening, so my evening is just starting. I have a social obligation that I cannot cancel. So if you can chime in to get, based on my suggestions together with either, that will be very helpful. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for the offering. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let's go to slide 6.
Of course.
Okay, so nothing new on this one. Still the same thing with the CSA. We collaborated on the Agentic AI Red Teaming Guide, Coalition of Secure AI. I actually met a couple of folks in that particular ecosystem. So I'm trying to get like more traction on this one on the back end. But for now, copyright legal issues being researched on both sides. Things are not moving as fast as we expect, but this is definitely up on the radar for us. Rob, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to share with the group some progress that we're making with SANS. They basically asked us, help us tell our trainers to update our training material based on the AI exchange, which is a tremendous step, super profound, big thing. We need to make it happen. But yeah, just to keep you guys up to date with where we're heading with SANS, that's I think yeah, that just made my year actually. Thanks.
Yeah, quick more update on the SANS. I mean, like it's not a public domain knowledge yet, but we applied for 2 grants along with SANS. It's a significant amount of grant that we are talking about. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Once we hear something, but we'll be able to actually share more on this particular call. But it's very exciting to see the collaboration that we are building with SANS.
It is.
Slide 7. For the website, and I think there have been like few changes that have been made in the last week or so. Rob, do you want to probably just touch on this?
Yeah, this is a summary of the changes. We're getting PRs, which is nice from people in the field with suggestions. Sometimes it's a whole section, but most it's typos, which is so funny. But people have OCD and just want to fix the typos, and that's great. So I simply double check them and then accept them. I don't know if you saw the post today with the 5 steps. I think that's a thing that I'm keen on to promote as something that is from the exchange, right? There's not the top 10, it's not the critical guidelines, but the 5 steps. I gave it the acronym GUARD, post on it on LinkedIn. It's getting some good traction, so we can build on that. And I actually did a webinar today for the Abu Dhabi School of Management, where I also explained how the GUARD principle or the GUARD steps work, and it resonates. So that's nice. Added a section on the leadership team, some new media, elaborated on continuous validation, mentioning model drift and linking to relevant standards. The contribution page is has been extended to be more clear. I noticed that people didn't quickly understand what the authors group is. We know what the authors group is, but for people new to the exchange, it's important to explain that that is where the contributions are coming from. So I made that more clear. And the getting started on the front page was created and extended on that section. I think that's a very important change, although it's small. What we've done is we basically, the first link that you see is not what is the exchange, it is how to use this document. And it clearly says, so why are you here? You want to learn more about the exchange? Go here. You want to start with AI security as an organization? Go here. As an individual, do this. You want to secure a system? Start with a risk analysis. You want to learn about specific topics? Here's where you need to go. So it's taking people by the hand in using the exchange. And this was based on the tip of Rob T. Lee from SANS Institute, who said we need to guide people better in finding their way into this vast body of knowledge. And I think this relatively small change has made a big difference there. So yeah, that concludes it. Thanks, Arnish.
Thank you. So I think in continuation on this, so website uplift that we have been talking about should be live fairly soon. I'm just hopeful that this timeline sticks. So there are two updates on this one. One is like it should be live by mid-November, hopefully. And the second one is we have a company which is going to be helping to continue the support for this in the Hugo framework that we have. And that was recommended by Rob. So kind of excited on both fronts. So uplifting should be happening fairly soon. And the maintenance that we would need in the longer term, we already have like a volunteering company on that. So, hey, Sai, you have your hand up?
So, Rob, I think your rationale behind Hugo framework is connecting our Git to seamlessly flow the content into the new website. Is that the idea? And if so, are these the templates and the designs are aligned with the new content? Like how if we keep it totally disconnected, then we need to also know the skills to update the new website with the content.
Yeah, Aranis has arranged with the design company that the Hugo pages would follow the design of the landing page. So that's awesome, right? You get a landing page that's completely contemporary with tiles and everything that you expect in a modern website. And when you click through, you're not getting to some boring Hugo site. It's actually a similar design with the same colors, the same artworks, and it also starts with a hero image. So every section that we have in the exchange will have a sort of a landing page feel to it. So it will feel integrated, and that's a great achievement.
Okay.
And I think like Sai, to your point, I think I'm thinking of one thing. Maybe before we go live, maybe we can actually share the link to the staging environment to everyone. You can have at least a week to review it. And if there are any minor suggestions that you might have, we can incorporate. And if there are like further bigger changes in the future, we can actually do it in the maintenance mode itself.
Yeah, I
Like
think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I'm trying to do is keep the cost low.
Mhm.
Don't want to actually spend too much of the sponsors' money on this one. But again, the professional touch is very, very important. So,
Yep.
From an engagement and sponsorship perspective, again, our sponsorship program has been live. We already have like 2 sponsors, 3 more are confirmed, and there are 6 other sponsors that I'm currently speaking to. I see Yasin, your hand is up.
Yes, so just for your information, I got the contact of the VP of security at Mercari, which is a huge company in Japan. And I had a chat with him about their AI security strategy. And what's very interesting with them is that they are trusting this subject very seriously end to end. And I was thinking maybe I could reach out to him to propose him to sponsor the OWASP project. And maybe just we can chat about it later on, Aranish,
No,
to give
this
you
is
more
exactly.
details.
I mean, like you kind of addressed the next slide that we're going to talk about is like if you can actually connect us to AI companies and AI vendors. So yeah, we can definitely follow up offline on this. This is exciting.
Great.
Yeah, moving on to the promotion, branding, and the conferences on behalf of AI Exchange. So I purposely added this particular slide last time. So we're going to keep a track on number of contributors that we have, number of authors, number of companies who are supporting us in different shape or manner, the Slack joiners, the number of followers that we have. We're going to have a traction on this because if you're a sponsoring company, you kind of look at how relevant the project is, and these metrics are important for them.
264 new followers in a week. That's pretty awesome.
So we have both UV and Rajiv on the call. So UV and Rajiv, if you can actually talk about the AppSec India event in Bangalore.
Oh, definitely. I think, I mean, this is my first OWASP in India and in Bangalore. So that way I got to connect with several cybersecurity experts, Rajiv in particular. We have spoken a lot over these calls. It was pleasant to meet Rajiv. We had a very long conversation, and yeah, Rajiv also dropped me back on the way back home, and it turns out we are living just 2 kilometers apart. So yeah, it was it was a great experience. Yes.
Any
Yeah,
feedback?
I also enjoyed it. I feel that maybe we should have a presence for AI exchange in particular also, like just like we are doing for OWASP. And in fact, OWASP, that was a session for OWASP Bangalore. And Arunesh, we talked about it. There should be maybe a branch or something for AI exchange Bangalore or India. That may be another idea, is what I can think of.
I think doing it at India level might be more meaningful
Yeah.
because I mean, like if we had like thousands of people, then doing a regional stuff would be useful. But I think at least we can keep it small for now, like doing it in pan India and going at that level. And
My
UV,
slides also spoke about the AI exchange and the kind of work that we are doing. So I think at least people that I've seen on these sites, Bangalore and the Cocoon conference, the Nalcon and things like that. So I think there were a lot of people from the security community itself. And yes, so the first message on what we are doing is across, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming there was no previous conference, at least from me. So I think it is good that we are now also, I'm trying to also talk to the members of the OWASP Bangalore chapter, because there are meetups which are 5 kilometers away from where we are. So I think that will also create more awareness on what we are doing.
oh, this is awesome. And any specific feedback or question that you might have gotten for AI exchange?
Nothing in specific. I think from my understanding, there were also some newer ones were also new to OWASP Bangalore chapter itself, because it was also jointly with OWASP Kerala chapter and so on. So it was more like silos of OWASP working in the southern India. And I think this was the first time they were also networking. So that way, it was more of getting to know what was going on across. Rather,
Okay.
curiosity was the first thing. Yes.
Oh, this is good. And I'll probably touch upon one thing that I have in the next slide, but I think next, Rob, do you want to cover the previous one? The keynote, security keynote for Axway?
Yeah, this was just one of those things where a company says, can you teach us something about security? And they invite you, and suddenly you're dealing with 433 engineers. So I just introduced them to the exchange, got wonderful responses, and had to restart my teams 5 times because I had just updated to the new version of Office 365 for macOS, which is super buggy, but that's another story. But it was a nice opportunity to reach new fans. Thanks.
Awesome. One quick update from me. I actually literally did like one workshop at there's a privacy foundation or company called IAPP. So they had their event in San Diego. I think it's actually still continuing until end of the week. So we had a workshop specifically focused on AI impact assessment. And my co-presenter, he's in the middle of the picture on the right-hand side, Gopi. So I'm trying to actually bring him into AI Exchange also. He's a very seasoned security professional. And what you see on the left picture, it says there are some stickers that we printed, and I might have shown that in the last call. So given the responses that I had on this one at the conference itself, I'm going to try to ship it to multiple regions in the world, right? Send it to a couple of folks in Europe, couple of folks in India. I'll probably send maybe 200-300 stickers to your address. So we had around 9 tables in that workshop room, and we had placed stickers on each and every table. So I think the response itself was pretty good. And I had at least 2 people from the legal side at the conference because it was more focused towards privacy and legal folks. So they're like keen on looking at AI Exchange, and maybe one of them might join AI Exchange also from a legal perspective, because we had one person, Dennis, who used to partake in this, but his work has become busy. So I'm trying to get at least 1 or 2 folks from the legal side. Okay, upcoming conference. I think first one is Rob. Anything that you want to add for the B-sides Amsterdam?
There's nothing new in this list as far as I know. So yeah, a bunch of things coming up. InfoSec US for you.
Yeah, so
Um,
InfoSec US was there. IABP San Diego we talked about. I
Yeah.
have a quick update on the Privacy Symposium. So that's the conference that we are trying to do in Italy. There has been some challenges from a Privacy Symposium group. They want anybody who's coming and speaking needs to be a sponsoring entity. And OWASP being a nonprofit and AI Exchange being like a very, very small player, we don't have that amount of money to actually sponsor. So the update is they kind of agreed of letting us in, uh, but in return they want to some sort of some marketing to promote the conference, but it's has attendance from a lot of privacy folks in all of EU, right? So I think it's going to be a good platform. So we are going to submit a new proposal, or more of a refined proposal, in the next week or so. So I'm working with a lawyer in Bay Area. So hopefully I'll have like more positive news on this probably in 2 weeks. Rob, you have your hand up.
Yeah, one of the candidates I proposed for the panel is Tatjana Evers from the European Commission. Let me know if that is still valid and requires sending Tatjana an update whether this is happening or is not happening for her. Just
Yeah, we're going to send the names also. They have asked the names of all the people. So I think we are very close to the finish line. And once we have an approval, we can actually speak to her.
great, thanks.
Maybe
Pancho,
also
go
a
ahead.
short update from my side, if possible.
Yeah, please go.
I've also given a series of talks, let's say. The last one was in the University of Vienna, talking about AI security and generally about the security of AI applications seen from the threat modeling perspective. Of course, definitely use the basis of the presentation, the AI exchange materials. But also, I've been repeatedly invited to the deep learning meetup in Vienna, where I will have the next talk/presentation about MCP security, which I've been working lately, and I've created let's say a security architecture blueprint, which I'm going to present there. The community there, it's quite big. I more than normally expected for a meetup, around 200 people or so, or even more. So it's quite an interesting medium to be presenting for. The majority of people participating are in the machine learning area, but definitely also people from the security side. Just wanted to share some small updates.
And
Thank
Mom,
you.
this is exciting. Could I make one request? If there is a presentation that you have done or any conference, if you can add these to the conferences that you presented, or are you going to present it in the slide deck?
Sure. Yes. For one of them, I've already. Yeah, I will do so. Yes.
And if there are any LinkedIn
Sure.
posts that you have made, you can actually send it on the authors channel, and probably some of us can actually repost with our comment itself, so you get more traction, more visibility,
Sure.
both for
Definitely.
an AI exchange.
Definitely.
Oh, this is exciting. And just one last point on this particular slide, there are a lot of B-sides and a lot of OWASP events that are happening. So not only the RSA and the Black Hat of the world, we should also tap into local chapters, local events itself, right, to get more and more traction at the grassroots level. So just a suggestion. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, I think I'll just make a quick request on this. If you have presented at conferences and you have fielded some questions which are specific to AI or AI exchange, which we don't cover in the material, definitely add them to this particular link that you have. It's a Google document. Yeah, we can actually skip. So moving up, let's have like a quick round of updates from all the work streams. I would possibly touch upon agentic AI. So there is a document that was circulated in a Slack channel. It's a private Slack channel for agentic AI. I think we have around 7 people who have shown interest on this one. If everybody can take a moment, look at the statement of work, what we are planning to do as part of this one, the objectives, the goals, and what our outcomes would be, that would be useful. And right after this particular call, actually, I'll put like a poll together of when we should meet, how often we should meet. Is it once a week? Is it like bi-weekly? What day of the week? So this is something that we are excited to actually start upon fairly quickly. Maybe we'll actually go to the next workstream item, which is the red teaming. I know Bernard.
Sorry,
Yeah,
just before you going, a quick question on this one. OWASP already has the Agentic Security Initiative already, right? That has published several documents, has a threat model, has a lot of work already, is led by John. How this initiative differs from that one? What's trying off the gap that we're trying to close?
I would say it's more complementary, not like a duplicated effort itself. I mean, like, what we are looking to do as part of the AI exchange, how does all the stuff that we talk about applies to the agentic side of the world, right? And again, like what's being delivered through Gen AI project through John itself, we would actually reference all of this and other work that's happening and other foundation also, right? But I think it's more of telling a holistic story as part of AI exchange, touching on different aspects, right? So it's not geared towards reinventing the wheel and trying to do the same work again.
Yeah, maybe I can get connect offline on that one. It's still not clear to me,
Sure.
but yeah, we can take that off. Thank you.
Sure. And Rob, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I can elaborate. So we cover a comprehensive model of threats and controls. Some of those controls tie into really specific stuff around agents. Many of the agentic stuff we already cover, like model privilege control, access control, etc. But specific aspects, typical stuff that happens with agentic AI, we can, for example, add to the exchange in the form of examples. Like when we talk about model privilege control, we can mention how this can be a problem for an LLM invoking a specific function and what tools you have with protocols and architecture to prevent that. So actually the things that are now abstract need in some places become more specific regarding specific agentic AI architectures and tools. Like, for example, mentioning memory as one of the attack vectors. So it's basically looking at what are we missing still when it comes to covering the typical agentic AI stuff, and it's not a separate topic, right? It's just one way of configuring an AI system, but it's a super popular way, which is why we need to take it into account. So it's about extending to see if we've covered everything and not writing a new section.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good, because then we can definitely rely on the work that has already done. For example, you mentioned threats and controls. There was just a document that was one of the contributors that's going to be released, the new version, the Agentic AI Threats and Mitigations. That is like the compass that shows what is the current landscape for AI specific agentic tools that are on the market. So there is a lot already actually published. So if you are trying to centralize or like leverage that knowledge to expand AIX, that's great. But I believe a lot of what is already on the out there is good material that you can just rely on.
Okay, I think like Eder, maybe we can actually follow up right after this call, talk about two different things, including this one.
Cool. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
I think we can actually move on to the red teaming guide. Yuvi, if you want to cover this.
I think this was one particular thing that we had due, and now I think we have significant progress there. So we have also all the text that was there in the Google Doc is now moved to a markdown format as well, and ready for review by Rob. So Rob, if you remember last time we had it in a markdown so that it becomes easy. It was in a Notion file. What is pending is the infographics on the star history. So we want to wait till tomorrow just to take if there are any new stars so that we can mark end of October as the date when we have timestamped it. And that's the only part that is there. So it's a simple script that needs to run a screenshot of it and it goes. So that way it is ready for review on the 1st of November.
Great.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to move to the next one. Agentic, we covered this one. Step-by-step guide. I wanted Morgan or Ravi to actually cover this one, so we'll actually skip it for this particular week. Ravi is kind of tied up with some work. For the harmonization workstream, I think Yuvi.
Yeah, I'd maybe move to the next slide. I actually liked your hint, Arinesh, on pointing like structuring what's the overall goal that we are looking at from the harmonization workstream. If there is a new member who's in, they get a clear idea of where we are, the timelines, and I also put the milestone there. So in the last 2 weeks, I think we have made good progress. So we have out of 12 key resources that we have listed down on threats and controls, we have more than 50% of them which are ongoing, 2 of them completed. 3 of them are still waiting for assignment. So it's a call for also contribution here for authors to pick up. There are certain resources that still need to be picked up, and mapping as well. We are looking at the next milestone where we have all the assignments and also looking at completing more than 50%. So that will be the second milestone. So we are looking at 8 out of 12 completed. We have, I think, overall made progress in the OWASP top 10, couple of topics. There are also the ETSA work that Irina is working on. When I was on the ENISA, Eder also picked up the OWASP. Elias had made significant progress on the BIML. He's on this. I think he mentioned that the next 10 days he might not be available, but then when he's back, we plan to restart that aspect. Overall, I think we are making progress. What we need are few more hands and few more experts so that we can get those parts moving, so that we have the targets in place by the end of this year, so that the organizations can take our material as a reference. So that way overall very good. We also had a couple of calls in closed group. There were a couple of hints that have come, and sort of good practices from the group here would be helpful. One is particularly on ISO. So because the document itself is not shareable, so there are very specific authors who have access to this. Rajiv is one among them. If there are new authors who are interested to contribute, there's this. We would need the document, and that document is not shareable. If there are any good practices, that will be helpful. That is one. And second is also like the overall organization that is going on, like how to read the document was one aspect that Rob mentioned, but also from a high level, if there could be what are the threats that are covered, what are the controls that are covered, that would give a high level sort of a ready reckoner on the threats and controls. That's another suggestion that has come up. So yeah, on the document itself, and these 2 points, if there are any suggestions from the larger group, we could take it back to the workstream and work it out accordingly.
Oh, this thing is exciting. I like the way you have structured the whole update. And I'll probably see if other work streams can also actually follow the same suit itself, right? This is excellent.
Any points, any good practices from anyone on how do we look for these documents, like the ISO document, for example?
Personally, I think like you cannot cross-share the ISO. You have to actually buy it. And if there are like more than one person, you have to buy like 2 licenses. So
Mhm.
I mean, like, one
Which
thing.
which ISO standards are we talking about here?
2001.
I think Irina may have access to it. Not sure.
Unfortunately not. I wish.
I have it. I can't share it indeed, but I do think the mapping is relatively light because we talk about AI governance in our AI program topic, right? And we're not going to write 20 pages about it. So having a look at what's in the 42001 and see what we want to add to our AI program section will take me a couple of hours, and I'm glad to take that on.
Perfect. That will be really helpful.
Oh, what have I done?
So there's a change in status. So we are waiting only 2 assignments more.
Go to the next slide.
Yeah, sure.
No updates on the policy and regulation. I think one question that we have, are we tracking, I know we talked about ISO 4201. Are we also tracking for 4205 as part of any of these engagements? That's a new standard that came about.
Not currently.
Okay.
Is it about conformity assessment, or what is it about?
Actually, I've not read through. It just got flagged yesterday at the conference. I still have to actually catch up on the scope and what exactly it's doing. But this is something that was rolled out, I think it was May of this year.
Impact assessment.
Impact assessment. Yeah, it's an important topic for sure. No specific plans.
And I think once we have maybe 1 or 2 more folks in from the legal side in our group, I think we should kickstart this policy and regulation sub work stream on this one, right?
Agree.
I think Jeff is on the call. Jeff, I know you actually shared this a few weeks ago on this one for the DFAA. I'm not sure if I captured the abbreviation correctly or not. Do you want to quickly give a color on this one? Back again.
Yes, sir. So there hasn't been a lot of movement on this. It seems like it may have hit a stalled point, but the U.S. Department of Defense at least was started to execute this initiative known as the Defense Frontier AI program. And basically it involves partnerships with OpenAI, Anthropic, Google has been added, and it seems to be slowly expanding, at least from a vendor standpoint. There was a significant amount of money associated with this initiative. The biggest issue corresponds to that second bullet, and the fact that from a guardrail perspective, we mentioned that there was limited focus on guardrails and protection modalities, but in truth, it's not even a limited focus. There's almost no focus. So it's definitely an area that once it does seem to pick up speed, is going to need guidance, is going to need the very materials that we're putting together in order to try to establish some mechanism of guardrail and governance for this program overall, because I full well expect, at least as far as the federal government's concerned, this is it may be starting in the Department of Defense or Department of War, depending on what you're reading, but it'll very well expand across the federal agencies, and then very likely trickle down into state and local organizations.
Just quick question on this one. Should we keep trackers, some sort of tracker to follow up on all these standards or these recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely can. Like I said, there hasn't been a lot of public movement on it, but I think part of that has been the impact of the federal government shutdown, and organizations are operating on severely limited manpower right now. So I think once that is resolved, hopefully soon, that this will pick up speed, but we can definitely rebroach the topic in in our next meeting, and I'll provide updates as they start to materialize.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do one thing. I'll probably create like maybe a Google Sheet or something where we can actually track all these open items that we have, including, let's say, example of the Canadian one that Eder talked about, right? Because it's very easy to actually miss out on these opportunities or these relevant movements.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one, very much on the tip of the iceberg, in terms of the direction this is going to go.
I agree on this 100%. Rob, you have a hand up?
Yeah, fun fact, the European AI Act does not apply to military applications, which is interesting. So I do see that we have an interesting opportunity there, but let's keep an eye on these things. Thanks.
Perfect, thank you. Let's move to the next one. I think this is, I'll probably give it to you, Rob, on this one to cover this.
Yes. So again, this is flowback from the European AI Act ideas that we gathered, a mechanism back into the AI exchange. We're doing this with a group of editors who are increasingly starting to, really understand the structure of the AI exchange and also how to improve it. So the nice thing about this editor work is that we encounter opportunities for the structure of the AI exchange to improve the readability, the accessibility, while doing this flowback And we're committing every week to do a bit of the material that we collected and transfer it into the exchange. And it's going well. I think we are on track of doing that new major release of the exchange end of the year. So 1st of January, so to speak. Sai is one of the people involved, Nicholas, Roger, Ahmed. But we'll have to keep a track on our progress because it's tedious work. I would not bet my life on that we make it this year, but it's really important for those certifications. So I hope that we can put this together. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, let's. So I think like this brings it close to the presentation deck, all the work streams. Any question, any ideas, anything from anyone on the call? I know we had like few folks who didn't get a chance to actually chime in. I'll probably just go around to see if anybody has any inputs. Chris, probably I'll just start with you.
Nope, no major inputs. One thing that I'm working on right now, though, is I just finished up my whole slew of speaking for this month. So I spoke at a few different organizations like T-Mobile, Alta, a bunch of other folks. But working on a relationship right now with Rand and SANS. So maybe there's something that we could kind of tie all three entities together in some way.
No, that's an interesting idea. Wow. I think we should collaborate more and more, right? This like creating opportunities is something that I like thrive on. So
Let's do it.
yeah, maybe I'll actually ping you tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it.
Perfectly for that. Awesome, awesome. Dan?
Nothing here. I do have some more cycles, so if there's anything we need to help support on, I could be able to be a support right now.
I mean, like, there is a lot of work, so I'll actually ping you where you can actually contribute effectively. So it's good. Irina?
Not much, maybe just an observation. I really liked the post from Rob today because it had this like graphic representation, right? So with the invite to go and dive into details. And from this harmonization work, what I found quite challenging is to go over sometimes wall of text. So my suggestion will be if we do the changes, we may also go with maybe some textual and graphical representation. So just to ease the pain for those who just cannot grasp the extensive number of things we have all around the place. So I hope that also can help those who search or seek first for this high level information and then can dive deeper into details and put more time and effort to make the content more inviting. So just a thought also around some of the principles and additional information can be extracted from this harmonization work that is more than just on controls and threats. So it has potentially more into this like story to tell around AI security in total, right? So and build up on the information we already have and make it more consistent and clear and guided throughout like AI system development lifecycle, for example. So just a thought. I guess it's a good time to maybe do that.
No, this is excellent input on this. Wow. Thank you.
Important.
And probably this I'll just call. I know Vishal commented on something. Vishal, anything from your end? I think he might be offline or Ahmed?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, any input, any feedback for anything that we talked about?
Yeah, so I'm on the same page that we should have a AI exchange chapter in India or different locations. And second thing that I will be presenting in Microsoft Blue Hat Asia next month on MCP security. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think you should definitely join the Agentic AI workstream itself.
Yeah, so I'm in touch with the UV sir, so I will have a conversation with him about the
Okay.
same.
Very nice. I don't think so. I missed anyone. Any passing thoughts, closing thoughts from anyone? If not, we can actually close the call now. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sure.
Bye.
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 Cheers, everybody. Thanks a lot for your time.